Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Globe Discoverer. Today, we are going to take you on a tour of a Muslim country that is not just a country, but an open book of history. Many prophets have visited this land. Yes, today we are going to visit Egypt. What were the palaces of Pharaoh like, and where did Prophet Moses, reach in Pharaoh's palace? Where is the palace of Prophet Joseph and Banu Zuleika? How do the people of Egypt live? On which mountain did Prophet Musa speak with Allah, and where is this located in Egypt? What is special about the Husseini Mosque in Egypt? We will show you many places that you have never seen before. Today's video is going to be very interesting, so make sure to watch it until the end. Let's embark on a wonderful journey to Egypt. The official name of this country is the Arab Republic of Egypt. Although its name includes Arab, most of its land lies in Africa. The total population of this country is around 114.5 million, ranking it 11th in terms of population and the 6th largest Muslim country. The total area of this country is 1 million square kilometers, making it the 30th largest country in the world by area. 40% of the population of this country lives in cities, and 60% live in villages. Egypt is one of the oldest countries in the world, with a history dating back thousands of years. Speaking of Egypt's borders, it shares them with Libya, Sudan, and the Gaza Strip on one side, along with the Mediterranean and Red Seas. Friends, did you know that the world's longest river, the Nile, also passes through here? Its length is 6,650 kilometers. 90% of Egypt's population is Muslim, while 10% follow other religions. A part of Egypt also lies in Asia. The capital of Egypt is Cairo, the largest city in the country. This city never sleeps, and whether it is day or night, you will see people everywhere. It holds great historical significance, and part of the city lies alongside the Nile River. Cairo is also the economic hub of Egypt, and the markets here are always crowded. Make sure to take a cruise on the Nile River, where you can enjoy a wonderful dinner that will remain in your memory for a long time. The people of Egypt use social media extensively. Facebook is the most widely used social media platform in this country. The calendar we use today was invented by the ancient Egyptians. They created a 365-day solar year system. Initially, this calendar was designed to predict floods from the River Nile, which would frequently overflow. In Egypt, there are only two distinct seasons: summer, which lasts from April to October, and winter, from November to March. The primary language spoken in Egypt is Arabic, therefore, if you plan to visit Egypt, knowledge of Arabic is essential, as very few people speak English. Egyptians are very cheerful people. If you greet them, they will stand and respond to your greeting. They love traveling and eating. They go out at night with their families to visit various restaurants. You will see food streets everywhere, and the aroma will increase your appetite. Egyptian street food is very famous, and anyone who visits cannot leave without trying it. You can easily eat 2 to 3 bowls of koshari, the national dish of Egypt. Egyptians enjoy eating by the banks of the Nile while savoring the cool breeze. They love music, and even though Egypt is a Muslim country, you will still find clubs and bars here. In Cairo, you will find Al-Azhar University, the second oldest university in Islam, which was built in 972 during the Fatimid Empire. Back then, the king bore the cost of education, and students were not charged any fees, a tradition that continues to this day. In the old part of Cairo, there are tombs of holy figures, usually located on a street known as Sharia Ashrafiyah. The tomb of Prophet Muhammad's PBUH aunt, Sayyida Attika, as well as the tombs of Sayyida Sakina and Sayyida Safina, are located here. The tomb of Imam Shafi, is also here, along with the Husseini Mosque, which is quite impressive inside. Egyptians believe that the blessed head of Imam Hussein, is buried here, though most people believe his tomb is in Iraq. However, Egyptians claim that his blessed head is buried in Cairo. Millions of blessings be upon Imam Hussein, Friends, Egypt is not just a country, but an open book of history and truths. A scholar was once asked why Allah gave Pharaoh a long reign, despite his claiming divinity, and ordering the killing of thousands of children from the Israelites. The elderly man smiled and replied, "Pharaoh was just." This brief answer reveals the greatest truth of this land. Millions of people visit Egypt each year. According to the 2022 report, 112 million people visited the country. Let's take you to the city where the Pharaoh of Prophet Musa time lived. Let me tell you that Pharaoh was not the name of a single person, but every king of that era in Egypt was called Pharaoh. This city's name is Luxor, and it is located 614 kilometers from Cairo. The Nile River also flows near this city. Luxor has a population of about 1.3 million, and even today, some people can be seen worshipping in the Pharaoh's temple. Typically, it's the Europeans who do this. This is the city where Prophet Musa was born and where the Pharaoh's palace, named Ramses II, was located. There were huge palaces in this city, including the famous Temple of Karnak, where Pharaoh used to enter his temple. Massive statues of the Pharaoh were built, because he, God forbid, claimed divinity. Outside the temple in this palace, there is a statue of the Pharaoh, and below it, a smaller statue of Pharaoh's wife, Asiya bint Muzahim, who believed in one God and was a Muslim. She was the same woman who raised Prophet Musa. You will find many carvings and designs on the walls of this temple, and the writings in their language were mostly in the form of pictures. The pillars in this temple are so huge that a person standing beside them looks very small. Despite the absence of cranes or technology at the time, these massive pillars were built. This is where the Pharaoh worshipped, and there are 134 pillars in this temple, all from the time of Prophet Musa. Seeing all this leaves one amazed. Now let me show you the palace where Pharaoh's wives gave birth to their children. This palace is located on the banks of the Nile River, and you will need a boat to reach it. Inside, there were rooms where the children were born, and you won't find any wall without carvings. In modern times, this language has been translated. The view of the Nile from this palace is breathtaking. If you want to see the Pharaoh in his original state, be sure to visit the Luxor Museum, where you will see the mummified Pharaoh. Now, let me show you the place where Prophet Musa reached the Pharaoh's palace in a wooden box via the Nile River. This is the place where the Pharaoh and his wife, Asiya, were sitting, and where Prophet Musa spent the early part of his life. The Quran mentions that the Pharaoh's palace was right next to the Nile River. This palace is also near the Temple of Karnak, and it, too, has very large pillars. Friends, let me now show you the mountain where Prophet Musa spoke with Allah. This mountain is called Mount Sinai, also known as Jabal Musa and Jabal al-Tur, and it holds great significance for Muslims, Christians, and Jews alike. The era of Prophet Joseph also took place in Egypt. In Cairo, you will find the graves of Prophet Joseph's brothers and sisters, including a mausoleum and the grave of his brother, Benjamin. How true this is, only Allah knows. This is an ancient graveyard. Approximately 30 kilometers from here, you will find Zuleika's palace. This site was once home to the Palace of Aziz of Egypt. Alternatively, it is also known as Zuleika's palace. Some remnants remain, but most of the palace has been buried underground. Prophet Joseph also lived here, and the village is still called Azaziyah, meaning the village of the governor of Egypt. The kings of that time used to build the pyramids of Egypt, which are now considered wonders. These pyramids are called wonders, because, at the time they were built, there was no technology or machinery. Yet, a structure heavier than the Burj Khalifa was constructed, which still stands today. Not only was it built, but it is said that there is not even a 1-inch difference in their alignment and size. Among all the pyramids, the Pyramid of Giza is the most famous, and most people come to see it. There are 3 pyramids here, the largest, a smaller one, and the smallest. Whenever you visit, use a carriage or camel, as walking can be exhausting. Now let me show you what is inside. You will have to climb many stairs, and you will find many free guides, but be cautious as most of them are scams. Proceed with caution, and if you have breathing issues, you should not go inside. The Pharaoh's mummy was kept inside, along with gold, silver, and servants, as they believed they would rise again with the same kingdom after death. Egypt has many historical sites, which is why tourists visit in large numbers. Modern Egypt began in 1922. Geographically, Egypt holds great importance because a major trade route of the world passes through the country, called the Suez Canal. This canal, built 150 years ago, is 193 kilometers long and 205 meters wide. According to a report, 12% of global trade passes through the Suez Canal. Until 1967, Egypt controlled the Gaza Strip, but in 1978, Anwar Sadat became Egypt's first Arab leader to recognize Israel and relinquished control of Gaza. Egypt's GDP is $476 billion, and the annual income of its people is $6,000. This country is not very wealthy, and 35% of the population lives below the poverty line. According to a report, 700 Pakistanis and around 3,600 Indians are settled in Egypt. The currency used in this country is the Egyptian pound. Besides Cairo and Luxor, you can also visit Alexandria, which is famous for being associated with Alexander the Great. After Alexander the Great, the last queen, Cleopatra, was also born here, and its remnants can still be found today. As for travel expenses, this country is not very expensive. You can easily find a hotel for $20 to $30 per night, and a flight from Pakistan costs around 1,80,000 rupees. Similarly, food is cheap, and the daily cost of meals is about $10 to $15. A visa costs around $70, which is easy to obtain. If you are fond of history and archaeology, then this country is perfect for you. Friends, this was our informational and interesting video for today. How did you like the video? Please let us know in the comments, and to our new friends, please subscribe to our channel and give it a like. Until the next video, bye bye.